Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Minnesota Vikings. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go! Right there, 54, right there, 54 miles. Bring it!
Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
From the 29, Trubisky.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And that will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And this will be taken at the 13. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Let's go, tackle, let's go. We got this.
Now a handoff here to his running back. He's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. 17 yards, 1st down, Vikings.
You can script and diagram plays all you want, but no one really envisions something like that happening this early in the game. How about that run to get things started? Didn't he win NFC Player of the Week last week?
Yeah, he was on fire a week ago, and what a start to this one.
Yeah, no sign of him cooling down at all.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Going to give this time to the tailback. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Now a handoff looking right. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
218, chopper.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Now a handoff here to his running back. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, it kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team.
Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Looking to throw. Eason. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. To throw again. Eason. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 20-yard line.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
Now they try the right side here. And he's in for the score, and his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal. Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Gurley now, out of the gun. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll punt it away for the second time. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They're looking sharp out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains.
Come on, set. 18 Gator. Check 26, check 26.
They'll run on 1st down. Vaughn. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. Going to give this time to the tailback. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down of the yard. And that is going to be incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a 1st down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Daniil Hunter. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 13. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it and pick up first downs.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. That one good for 37 yards.
I don't think we'll ever get enough of watching one-handed catches, and when they pay off, they are spectacular. But how about the times they don't pay off and coaches go, 2 hands, 2 hands still works.
I know, but they go for them so often now that I'm almost starting to take them for granted.
Yeah, that's unbelievable, isn't it? Because these are sensational type plays.
Especially that one with the defender right there.
Down. 60 outlaw.
Don't get nervous. A little flat.
On first down, it's Vaughn. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Here we go. Let's go.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Check 31.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great play there. Standing alone with a new NFL record 32nd touchdown. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And that makes our score 17-0. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, okay.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. Past the 20. A great pick, nice return, but you know he's just beating himself up inside for not getting all the way in.
No doubt about it, because he had visions of end zone in his mind. Going to be the total hero. But we did see there the emphasis on it's not just good enough to pick it off anymore. Bring it back, get the yardage, and really help out your offense.
Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2.
That's it, baby.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Crosby connects on the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 45.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one.
This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen with touchdown number 8 on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Crosby with the extra point, and the rout is on here in this first half. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. It's a short kick, taken at the 15. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
At their own 31-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And in a spot like this, still more than a minute, I think if you put something on the board before halftime, that would go a long way towards helping them get back into the game.
There actually is something to the psychology of the game at times, isn't there? How much better would they feel running into the locker room, as you noted, with something on the board in a positive fashion? You're exactly right. It's a great opportunity to get that done.
They run out of the shotgun with Gurley, and he'll get up to the 43-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. And a nice little broken tackle run there by Todd Gurley, the 10th pick in the 2015 draft.
And that's what you get with him, that full package of speed, power, able to catch the ball in the backfield. Many people doubted him coming out.
And now here's another interception. Picked off inside the 5. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. He'll be taken down well behind the line, and I think he might have just given those 4 yards right back. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And they give this time to the tailback. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
And foreseeing completion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Back to throw. Eason. Got a man. It's Ross. Complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on third down.
50, plant.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Get it.
Now they try the right side here. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Throwing on first down. Eason. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now a handoff looking right. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Let's go. 18, Gator.
Watch the curl. Watch the curls. Kill, kill, kill. Turn up. Kill, kill, kill. Turn up.
Let's go.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Let's go, let's go.
He gets this one to Johnson. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
That's it. That's it.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They run. It's Gurley.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now a play fake here on first down. Going to flare this one out to Gurley in the flat. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, either
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Here's Trubisky. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Daniil Hunter. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position.
Here we go. 8, read.
Watch the backer, watch the backer.
5.
Now they try the right side here. He's got the first down inside the 10. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. 25 yards as his guys continue to pour it on. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one. We all know that teams never want to use the word panic, but if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
Time to establish the run game here. Gurley. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
Another carry now for Gurley. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 7 yards there and a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Off the play fake, here's Trubisky. Buying time to his left. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Trubisky dancing to his left. He'll throw underneath for Gurley. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd down.
And that's why you do all the drills that you do from the quarterback position, because you're not going to just throw to your strength. The right-handed quarterback naturally will want to move to the right side to throw the football.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. So not only do they convert on 4th, but they pick up 22 yards in the process. On 1st down, it's Gurley. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. From the 17, Trubisky. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Chris Jones able to put an end to that play, and in so doing, puts an end to this 3rd quarter. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Recon, 132 fighter. Check 24. Tight dog, tight dog. Alert, 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 alert.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. This is caught, and he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. James Washington, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are able to at least knock the deficit down a bit. So now Trubisky will lead his guys to the line. They'll go for 2 here. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And this is caught, so they do get the 2. Still a very large deficit, but maybe something to feel a little better about. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. 33 yards as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point up and good by Crosby, and that will extend this big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Here's Trubisky to throw. Complete to Washington. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down. Trubisky now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Trubisky. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 46. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. James Washington was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Again, it's Trubisky, and they'll set up the screen to Gurley. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he hits his tight end, Ebron. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Trubisky to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at about the 31. He's got daylight. 20, 10. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Now Trubisky lost the football, and the Vikings pick up the football.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns. And they will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly
you
right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now it's Trubisky. Open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
It's our time. It's our time.
Throwing once more, it's Trubisky. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack. And he's going to go down again.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes over the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Now Trubisky. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College, not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback, ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
Extra point put through by Boswell as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Throwing to start the drive. Eason. It's caught by Jackson. 23 yards on the play.
And they just hit another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
The age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
That burst good for 20 and a first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Eason. His throw caught at about the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
First and goal at the
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on first and goal.
61, match box, hit it.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. From the 2 now, second and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. They've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on third and goal? He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. No gain on the play, and what to do now on fourth and goal. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Vikings, they get back to 500 now as the win moves them to 7-7. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, the season is really nosediving now as they fall to 2-12. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.